Reena, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. The concept is multidimensional arrays in Java. The topics are multidimensional array, two-dimensional array, three-dimensional array. So here we can see how to declare, create and initialize two-dimensional array and how to access two-dimensional array elements. Similarly for three-dimensional array. In Java, multi-dimensional arrays or actually arrays of arrays. And to declare the multi-dimensional array variable, we need to use the index value and square brackets. The data in multi-dimensional arrays are stored in tabular form, either in the row major order or in the column major order. The general form of declaring n-dimensional array is, first we need to mention the data type, second name of the array, and within the square brackets we need to mention the sizes. And here the two examples, one for a two-dimensional array, another one for a three-dimensional array. In the first example, the data type is int and the array name is 2D. So it can hold only integer type of data. The first subscript mentioned the row size, second one is the column size. So here the row size is 10 and the column size is 20. The second example for three-dimensional array, again the data type is int, the name of the array is 3D, the table size is 10, and row size is 20, and the column size is 30. And we can calculate the number of elements in the multi-dimensional array by multiplying the size of all the dimensions. For example, here the two-dimensional array X, it consists of the row size is 10 and the column size is 20, and we can multiply the values of the row size and the column size to calculate the number of elements which can hold. So 10 into 20 is equal to 200 elements. So the array X can hold 200 elements. And similarly, we can calculate the three-dimensional array also. So here the table size is 5, row size is 10, and the column size is 20. So we can multiply these three values, 5 into 10 into 20, which is equal to 1000 elements. So the three-dimensional array can hold 3000 elements. Next we'll see two-dimensional array. In two-dimensional array, it is the simplest form of multi-dimensional array. It is arrays of one-dimensional array. There are many ways to declare a two-dimensional array in Java. The first one, we need to mention the data type. And next to data type is two subscripts and space array value. And the second one is data type space two subscripts, the name of the array. And next data type, name of the array and two subscripts. Data type, subscripts, array name, subscript. And the example int x 10 20. So it can hold 10 rows and 20 columns. So the total number of elements is 200. And in this diagram, it is represents the two-dimensional array with 3 rows and 3 columns. Two-dimensional array commonly represented by x of I rows and j columns. 2D array can be seen as the table with the x rows and y columns, where the row numbers ranges from 0 to x minus 1 and the column numbers ranges from 0 to y minus 1. So here the two-dimensional array is with 3 rows and 3 columns. Here the first cell x of 0 0, which represents the 0th row and 0th column value, and next x of 0 1, 0th row and first column. Similarly, we can represent each cell And syntax to create a two-dimensional array in Java. First we need to mention the data type and subscripts, the name of the array, and equal to symbol, the new operator. So new operator is used to assign memory to two-dimensional array. And next data type, and within the subscript we need to mention the row size and column size. Here the example, int ARR is equal to new int 3 3. So 3 rows and 3 columns. And next the syntax for initialization. In the first method we need to mention the name of the array and the value of the row index and the column index equal to and value. So the value will be assigned in the mentioned row and column value. For example, ARR of 0 0 is equal to 1. So the value 1 will be assigned in the cell which is represented by the 0th row and 0th column. In the second method we used here curly brackets, and we can also use the nested curly brackets also to initialize the array values. In the first example we use the curly brackets and all the elements will be stored in the order, and it will follow the left to right assignment order. The first example, int x 3 4, so 3 rows and 4 columns. So the first 4 value will be stored in the first row, and second 4 value will be stored in the second row, and the remaining 4 values will be stored in the third row. The second example, x of 3 4 is equal to, again so here we use the nested curly brackets. So the first inner set represents the first row, second inner set represents second row, and third inner set represents the third row. Next we'll see how to access two-dimensional array. So we can use the index value to accessing the two-dimensional array, and here the example program. So it will give the output for the two-dimensional array. So the class name is test, and in the main function the first value is the array initialization statement. The name of the array is ARR, and the first inner set represents the first row, second inner set represents the second row. So it is a 2 rows and 2 columns array. And if we need to access the array elements, we need to use the for loop. So here we used a 2 for loop for traversing the two-dimensional array, and if we use one-dimensional array means we need to use one for loop, and similarly for three-dimensional array we need to use 3 for loops. And this for loop statement will print the value of the arrays, and if we execute this program we'll get the output, that is ARR 0 0 is equal to 1. So the value 1 will be assigned in the 0th row and 0th column cell, and the value 2 will be assigned in the 0th row and first column value. Similarly, and the value 3 and 4 will be assigned in each cells. Next, three-dimensional arrays. The syntax for three-dimensional array, data type and 3 subscripts, array name. Similar to two-dimensional array, here also there are many ways to declare three-dimensional array. And next, the syntax for creating a three-dimensional array, data type and 3 dimensions, a name of the array equal to symbol, the operator new, and the data type. And first subscript we need to mention the table size, second one the row size, and the third one is the column size. This example, the name of the array is int array and the table size is 2, and the row size is 3 and the column size is 4. So this diagram represents the three-dimensional array with 3 tables, 3 rows and 3 columns. Initializing three-dimensional array. Similar to two-dimensional array, we can use curly brackets and nested curly brackets to assign values to three-dimensional array, and using the index value also we can directly assign the values to the three-dimensional array. The first method, we use the curly brackets, so the values will be assigned in the left to right order. The second method, the value 15 will be assigned in the mentioned index values. Similarly, 45 and 65 will be assigned in the mentioned index values. And the third method, we used curly brackets. So first set will represent the first row, and the second set, inner set, represents the second row, third inner set represents the third row. Similarly, we can assign the values for the table. Similar to two-dimensional array, we can, using the index value, we can access the three-dimensional array values. So in this example, the class name is main, and in the main function, the first step for initializing array values. So here I used nested curly brackets to assign the values, and actually it is a 3 table, 2 array and 3 column table. And this is the three-dimensional array, so we need to use a 3 for loop to traverse the array values. And if we execute this program, we'll get the output like this. So here there are 3 tables with 2 rows and 3 columns. The array initialization statement, the first inner set value is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 will be assigned in the first row. Similarly, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 9. So all the values will be assigned in the three-dimensional array. Thank you.